Hi, I'm Dan Marino, and if anyone knows the value of protection, it's me. So I take care of the hands that take care of me. With isotoner gloves.
Cut. Again from the top. I said cut.
Guys, it's a cut.
And what the hell are they doing?
That's a cut. Guys,
Dan Marino's attempt to sell gloves foiled in the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Marino had much better luck on the field. The Hall of Fame quarterback played in Super Bowl XIX. Dan's an analyst for the NFL Today on CBS and a spokesman for NutriSystem. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
They say this game is going to be a great offense, Peyton Manning and the Broncos, a great defense, the Seattle Seahawks. How do you see the game from a quarterback's perspective? Take us inside the mind of a quarterback.
Well, I mean, first of all, when you look at Peyton Manning, what he's accomplished this year, it's been amazing. And, you know, his job is to continue to do what he did all year, which was basically break every record and throw all the touchdown passes. Touchdown passes means points. And not to make mistakes in this game, not get behind and throw the game away early. You know, give yourself a chance at the end to be able to win us. And again, big game like this in the Super Bowl. And that's really what Russell Wilson is thinking. And the Seattle Seahawks, let's try to keep this game close. Let's maybe try to win at the end, run the football. And there's always that cliche like, keep Peyton Manning off the field, you know, that you hear it all the time, but you know what? It's true.
Yes.
It's very true.
Exactly.
As
an added advantage
you can say
true.
all the things you want, but that's the truth.
How concerned, if you're Peyton Manning, would you be about Richard Sherman? He did another interview where he's still talking, and he says that Peyton Manning throws ducks. Now, I don't know what a duck is. I can't imagine that's a good thing for a quarterback.
It's not a perfect, spiraling, beautiful
kind of wobbly.
throw.
Okay,
it's a little wobbly.
Right.
And sometimes you can throw wobbly passes that are very accurate and they're right on the money and they're on time. And
in the same place he said Peyton's smart, but would you be worried about him?
I don't think Peyton Manning cares about what Richard Sherman says.
Yes.
I think he cares about how he plays, which he's a very good corner, and he can shut down guys. And I think Peyton would be concerned sometimes if you know, he gets a bad matchup with him, he might not throw in his direction. You know, I used to do that sometimes. You got a great corner, and you have a receiver. It might not be a good matchup. You just go the other way.
I was fascinated by what Paul Allen told Charlie in that interview, that Russell Wilson has watched every piece, every throw that Drew Brees has made. What's the advantage that Russell Wilson has?
You know, he's thorough. He's a smart guy. He's very thorough. Obviously, if he's doing that, he knows that his game is similar maybe to Peyton or to Drew Brees, because you know Russell was a little shorter guy in the pocket. But from what I've heard, he's just a competitor. You know, he's a leader, competitor. He wouldn't be to this point where he's at, you know, if he didn't compete. He's a young guy playing in his first Super Bowl. I'm really excited for him.
Having played in a Super Bowl matters how much?
I think it matters a lot. You know, you understand what you're going through that game day and what it takes, the preparation for the week. You know, the game is different. It's a usual Sunday. You know, you go out, you have your 20 minutes warm up, you go in, and 10 minutes later you're on the field playing. Now you have that whole the whole pregame show, and it takes so it's a lot longer. It's a different feeling.
And who has the best running game?
You know, if I was the quarterback, I'd want Marshawn Lynch as my running back. You know, Seattle is going to try to run the football, and if they can do that and keep the game to where Russell Wilson's only throwing it 25 to 30 times, then that's the kind of game they want to play.
Can we talk about the Dolphins for a second? Richie Incognito and Jonathan Martin, their text messages were released today, and I would bet that nobody knows what really happened between the two but the two of them. But do you think it's possible for football players to bully other football players? When you first heard about this, what did you think?
You know, I didn't know what to think, you know, but obviously there was issues there in some way that wasn't, you know, addressed at the time, and it got to a point now where, you know, it's embarrassing for the Miami Dolphins, and I'm a former Dolphin, and you know, I will say this, that I talked to Mr. Ross a few times, and he's going to be committed to making it right and doing the right things in the future, as far as you know, how you act in the locker room and the things that you're supposed to do as a professional athlete.
Because isn't there a culture of trash talking where guys in the locker room just say
things in the locker room
outrageous things?
They do, and I've been around it too. But there's a point where, you know, it needs to stop too. So you know, I wasn't there personally. I wasn't in the locker room, so it's hard for me to.
Did you ever have a quarterback come up to you and say, "Hey, Marino, throw it at me"?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What would you do?
Quarterbacks like to talk. I said, I will. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Just stick around. Just stick around, and I'll throw at you.
And Dan, can we talk about how you look? Because listen, I've seen the commercials of you with NutriSystem. Did you think you were a fatty McFat? And by that I mean, were you sensitive about your weight, or did you just think, you know, I need to lose a couple of pounds?
You know what? I saw some friends that were at golf tournaments that were on the program, and I'm like, wow. And one guy, my friend Jim Stuckey, used to play football. He lost like 40 pounds. So I said, you know what? And I could use to lose, you know, some 20 pounds or so, and I ended up losing 22 pounds, and it worked. And then my other friend, that guy I ended up meeting, was the CEO. He said, I'd like you to start our men's program, and let's
Were you
make it
embarrassed
cool.
to do that?
No, he's like, let's make it cool for men to lose weight. You know, so we did that. It's been 6 years. And the other thing is, the Monday after the Super Bowl is the second most dieting decision day of the year besides New Year's Eve. So if you're going to make that decision, make it NutriSystem, guys.
Dan Marino, you have always looked good.